Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
And new undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael the Count Bisping.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
Holy shit, we are back. The Dream Team back in effect. Believe you me, Michael Bisping, how are you?
I'm good, buddy. I'm a little annoyed because, well, it was a shame. Yesterday, England went out of the World Cup.
You don't care.
You know, I really had a feeling that we were going to win it. You know, of course, we got to the semi-finals and we're doing well, but we lost yesterday to Croatia. Furthest we've got. You know, we haven't spoken about the World Cup at all, Lewis. Do you give a damn about it?
Oh, yeah,
No?
dude. I love it. It's my, right behind the most exciting sport in the world, mixed martial arts. I really am into skinny boys in short shorts running around the field, not scoring any points for 4 hours.
Yeah, okay. No. All right, listen, I get you, but you know, the sheer spectacle of it, you know, and every country in the world are competing against each other. It's pretty phenomenal, Lewis. Come on, don't be a hater.
I'm not. I actually think that side of it's kind of cool. I can get into the nationalistic side. Look, every 4 years, everyone gets excited about the elections. Everyone gets excited about the Olympics. I understand it. I understand the hype, but let's not pretend that we're not just dummies. And because you don't give a fuck about soccer any other time of the year, you've never mentioned it.
No, listen, if I stumble across a football match, I refuse to call it soccer. If I stumble across a football match, I'll watch it. I'm a Man United fan. But, you know, the World Cup, I always make an effort with the World Cup. And it is nice, you know, I mean, for example, it does unite countries. I mean, there's racial divide and things these days going on. But sports do unite people. So that was nice to see. But, yeah, unlucky. We didn't make it to the final. I thought we were going to make it, thought we were going to win the whole thing. But, oh, well.
How's America doing?
Good effort, boys. Well done.
How's America doing?
How's America? Well, America never even got to the final, Lewis.
Come on.
So yeah, they didn't get to the last 32, or is it 64? I'm not sure. The World Cup finals, the televised part of it, America didn't even get there. Greatest country in the world. Good job. But last week was International Fight Week. Of course, we didn't do the show on Monday like we normally do. I put out that little small breakdown of the DC fight. Not a breakdown, just a few comments on it on Monday from Las Vegas. Can you what, Lewis?
You said you were going to do a half hour.
No. I didn't say I was going to do a video.
What?
I said I'll do a little thing. Listen, no one wants to see me sitting there being all serious. I was kind of embarrassed just doing that, like I'm trying to be Ariel Helwani or something. I'm not no fucking MMA journalist that wants to have his own little, you know, yes, Michael Bisping with the breakdown. I mean, I'll do a fun podcast with you and have a laugh, but, you know, I died a little inside doing that. You asked me to do it. You told me to do it, so I said, okay, I'll do it for the sake of the podcast. I've got to let all our regular listeners and followers know what's going on, so that's why I did it.
Well, you do a very good job breaking down from an analytical point of view, you know, the fights. You do it well. So it's not like you could technically do that on the side. People enjoyed it. I have a lot of people going, hey, dude, you don't even need Lewis.
Oh, well, I prefer it when we do it like this and I have someone to bounce off, but I appreciate that. But International Fight, we will get into all the festivities of that soon. But, man, I've been so busy with UFC stuff lately, which is great. I'm not complaining. Last week I had Contender Series, then Wednesday night UFC Tonight, then Tough Talk, then I flew to Vegas, then it was a Wayne show, and then Friday was a Wayne show for 226, then it was the pre-fight show, the post-fight show. Saturday was a pre-fight show and post-fight show. Sunday, I got out of bed. You think it's a day off? No. And then I had to start studying for the Contender Series again on the Tuesday. But on Sunday, my wife and my son drove into Las Vegas to hang out. My eldest son just walked through the door now, Callum. He was at a wrestling tournament in Northern California. And Ellie, my daughter, was going to stay with a friend. And they drove into Vegas to see me. So we had a nice time.
Amazing.
I flew a helicopter to the Grand Canyon. If anyone ever gets a chance to do that in Las Vegas, do it. Unbelievable. Fantastic. Watched the show, had some great dinners, had a nice little break in Vegas, and then commentated on the Contender Series. As soon as I finish, I get phone calls. The police have been in touch and all this type of things. I'm like, what? What do you mean? I said to my wife, I said, you know, how is everything? She said, oh, Michael, the police have been on the phone. I'm like, what do you mean? Anyway, long story short, my daughter had a gathering of friends at the house. Not a party. It wasn't. It was like 2 or 3 of her friends. And then some other kids showed up, and then some older kids showed up, you know, and they all came into the house, and they were trying to get rid of them and stuff. And
Wait, how much older?
Like 18-year-olds.
Whoa.
Some 18-year-old boys showed up, and like they didn't want them in the house, and they got rid of them apparently, and they left. But then, a short while later, on Snapchat, these guys are showing all the stuff that they've robbed from the house. So, I mean, I'm not going to use any names, obviously, but stole all my watches, Rebecca's jewelry.
All of your expensive watches that you get for free as gifts?
Yes.
Are you fucking kidding me?
My Rolexes, my Cartiers, my Hublots. I have a very nice watch collection. They all got stolen. Rebecca's purses, jewelry, things like that, all got taken.
No.
Shoes, Gucci handbags.
Mike.
Stole a lot of my shoes, for crying out loud. Go on.
Yeah, you really. I was gonna cut you off a second before, and you wouldn't have sounded like a queer. Listen, you. First of all, who the fuck has the balls to rob a UFC fighter? That's crazy.
Hold on, let me finish the story. I haven't even got started, right?
Yeah, sorry.
So I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on? So I called my daughter. I'm like, what's been going on? And she said, well, listen, we had a couple of friends over, and then some friends told some other friends. It's like that movie. What's that movie called? God, when they throw a party and then like tons of people, and then they end up trashing a guy's car and stuff. Anyway, whatever, you haven't seen it. It's actually a very fun movie. What?
Project X.
Project X, that's it, yeah. It was nothing like Project X. Literally, there was a small handful of people. But some little shit showed up, actually, who's a thief, obviously. And anyway, he takes all this stuff, and they disappear. And apparently, like, some of my daughter's friends confronted him, and they got some of the stuff back. And I'm on the phone, and I'm driving back from Vegas, and I'm a little pissed off, obviously, because a lot of stuff is still unaccounted for. And I'm like, well, get me this kid's number. So I get his number, and I call him up, and he won't pick up the phone. So then I send him a message back, and I said, look, listen, unless you want to, go to jail, unless you want to deal with the police, I suggest you pick up the phone. You were man enough to come into my house and take my belongings. Be man enough to speak to me one-on-one. Give me my shit back. And I just wanted to speak to the guy, Lewis. Believe it or not, I wanted to give him some advice. Wanted to let him know, listen, buddy, what are you doing? Get your shit together. You're going in people's houses and stealing things. Apparently, he comes from an affluent family as well, so he has no need. It's not like he's totally broke and comes from a really poor family, anything like that. But I wanted to speak to him and give him some advice. So I sent him a message. And then eventually, 10 minutes later, whatever, I'm driving, I get a phone call from somebody that is pretending to be his attorney. Okay, and he's like, yeah, I'm his attorney. I'm like, well, what's your name? He's like, well, my name's not important. I'm okay. Oh, all right, well, where's your offices? And he's like, well, we don't have any offices. I'm like, okay, you're not an attorney, okay? I know you're not. You're like his friend, and you're just trying to deal with this, you little fuck.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and then this guy's getting aggressive with me on the phone, telling me how it is. Listen, here's what's going to happen, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whoa. Who the fuck are you talking to, you little shit? You've been in my house. You've robbed all my stuff. Give me my stuff back, right? Otherwise, we're going to have a problem. I'm going to be forced to have to go to the police. I don't want to do that.
You haven't gone to the police yet at this point.
I don't know. I don't want to ruin a young kid's life.
Fuck
I made a stupid
off.
decision. I said, just get me my shit back. And he's like, well, hold on. What's missing? I'm like, I don't know. I'm driving back from Las Vegas. I have no idea what's missing until I get home, you dumb fuck. And he's like, whoa. Don't call me a dumb fuck. I said, well, you are clearly a dumb fuck. I said, you're pretending to be a lawyer, but you won't give me a name or an office or anything, so you're a dumb fuck. And anyway, he started getting his back up. So I said, from now on, I'm just going to call you dumb fuck. Okay, dumb fuck? And anytime he said anything, I just kept calling him dumb fuck. And it was really pissing him off. And in the end, he starts screaming at me, ha, we've been recording this entire conversation. I'm like, yeah, I know you have been. Or I suspected you had been. You're trying to get me to threaten you or something so that you can then use that over me. I said, I haven't said anything. I've just called you a dumb fuck. And then he hangs up the phone. And then 5 minutes later, I get a call from the guy that actually did it, who did the thieving. And he's like, yeah, you're talking to the main man. And I'm like, what? I'm talking to the main man. You mean I'm talking to the thieving little shit? And then he hangs up the phone. And then since then, there's been no further dialogue. And my wife and some of the people that we know, they're like, "You've got to go to the police. You've got to go to the police." And we got a voicemail from a cop saying, we've actually got him here arrested on something else. Apparently stole a car that night as well. Do you want to press charges? And I don't want to press charges. My wife is going crazy.
Mike.
Everyone I know is telling me I need to press charges. What would you do, Lewis?
If
My
I
wife's
were,
looking at me saying, "What are you doing?" Babe, I haven't said any names. No names.
I would.
No names.
First of all, I would be saying his fucking name. First thing I'd be doing is telling him his name, his address, where he lives, his family members. Then, not only would I press charges, I would say that he did more things. I would say that he raped my dog. I would say that he came in and he violently assaulted.
Bestiality.
Yeah, he was a fucking
What are you
bestiality.
gonna do?
What?
Bring raping of dogs into a traumatic story.
So
Lewis,
don't-
enlightening. You're mocking the situation.
I'm not mocking the situation. You asked me what I would do.
Bringing beastie. Why have you got to rape Dito or Alfie or Harry? Poor Harry.
Dito's dead. Don't bring it up.
Harry's only got one eye, but yet now you want him raped.
Look,
He's a
Harry.
rape victim now, is it?
Harry can-
Jesus Christ, Lewis, have a bit of respect for Harry.
Harry can use the attention, to be honest with you. I see that dog just sits in the corner.
Bring Harry here. Bring Harry. Look into the eyes of Harry. Rebecca. let's get Harry in here and ask him.
Bisping's one-eyed dog, Harry.
Bring Harry. I'm texting now. She's not. I've got a message from her.
She's furious that you're talking about it. Why are you protecting this
The
kid?
reason I'm talking about it because I'd like to hear, what do I do? Do I press charges? Because I know in America you guys don't mess around. Hold on. Give me Harry. Lewis, look at this face. Look at this face. He's very traumatized by the whole thing. Look at him, poor guy.
Please don't rape me anymore. It's been so traumatic, it hurts.
Look, he's got one eye. He's been raped. It's not good, Lewis. You're making fun of the whole situation. Poor old Harry. It's okay, buddy. I got you back.
To be honest with you, I can
Take him to
never
his counseling session.
look at Harry the same again. I don't know. It's weird. There's a disconnect now.
Oh my God. Excuse me, that was
fuck.
gross. So anyway.
What? Let me ask you a question. Hold on.
Lewis, what would you do? Would you press charges against the kid? Now, bearing in mind, I got most things back. I haven't had everything back. I'm still waiting on some items, and now
You
apparently
did get most of it back. How did he get it back to you?
Some good kids that knew about it went and found him and got the shit back, put him under pressure, and kind of gave him a hard time, and we got it all back. But things are still. See, the thing is, if I took random things from your house, you wouldn't know what was missing, would you?
Well, yeah, I'm poor, so if you take one thing.
No, but like yesterday, they found a pair of shoes hidden under a car and stuff like that. So it's a bit weird. Things are still coming out in dribs and drabs, but there's still a few things missing. I don't want to go into too many details, but would you press charges, Lewis? Because
100%.
Would you really?
100%. I swear to God, I would.
You never made mistakes in your life?
I did, and to be honest with you, the chances there's like a contract there, right? Where I used to rob the mall all the time when I was 18 years old. We used to just steal shit from the mall like it was nothing. And if I got caught and I got arrested, that was the path that I chose, and there has to be consequences. And when this isn't a fucking good kid. It's not like it's a good kid who's hanging out with some fucking bad kids and made a bad decision, right? This is a kid who is robbing you, then calling you and mocking you about it, laughing at you with his friend, recording you. He's like, listen to his shitty accent, everyone, at a party, making fun of you while he's wearing your watch.
Yeah. Well, I know, but the thing is, he's a kid. And like I made a few mistakes when I was a kid, and fortunately, I didn't have to pay for every single one of them. Some things you managed to get away with, or I'm just trying to listen. There's not much harm done here. I've got most things back. Probably one or two things are still missing. Well, I know one or two things are still missing.
What's
One of
missing?
Rebecca's bracelets and there's some shoes and whatnot. I had some Gucci boots that Rebecca bought.
Dude, you cannot get over these shoes. He has mentioned the shoes.
You're asking me what things. I'm telling you what things.
And you've listed shoes 7 times.
Doggy. Okay, well, because that's what's missing still. Doggy, blue dog. Listen, So, the fucking shoes. No, I'm joking. I don't want to ruin his life. I mean, because let's assume I press charges. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the charge would be, but I'm, on top of the other thing that he apparently did, he might be looking at some time, and I don't want to ruin a kid's life for one night of madness. Maybe he was drunk. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he was drunk or he was high or whatever.
That's not good either. He's underage.
I know I'm not making excuses for him. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate and give this piece of shit a break. Because maybe he needs it. Maybe he doesn't need it. Everyone I speak to said, no, this kid needs to learn a lesson. You need to press charges. But I don't, like my wife's saying that, and she's kind of pissed at the whole situation. She's like, no, screw this kid. And I'm like, but what good is that going to do us? Does it do us any good to know that some poor kid is having his life ruined and going to spend time in prison maybe and all the rest of it? Does that do us any good? Does that help us in the long run?
Well, I'm looking this up. If you want a little information as to what would happen, this is the Penal Code Section 286.5. It makes it a misdemeanor punishable by up to 6 months in jail for a person to sexually assault an animal in the state of California. 6 months. This guy's a monster, and he should be stopped. Harry agrees with me. I don't know why you're not protecting your animals, Michael Bisping. That's what I want to know. Whose side are you on?
Harry, what do you say?
Whoa.
Yeah, he's into it. Harry's all for it. Anyway, so that was that. That's what I came home to after a nice weekend in Vegas. Working the 226 International Fight Week event, and that's a segue out of this section. If you didn't realize,
wow.
Lewis,
that was amazing.
That was an expert segue.
Mike, we got to talk about BetDSI, which is we love them. They've been with us for a long time. BetDSI has been hooking us up. They've been sponsoring the show for a long time. And what BetDSI.com is, it's a website that makes it super easy to throw some cash down on your favorite sports, especially fights. If you love fights as it is, throw a little bit of cash down on a fight. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to change your whole perspective.
Yeah, that's right, Lewis. BetDSI.com have been in business for over 20 years, and they're a top-rated business on all the review sites. Easy-to-use, fast-playing interface. Bet games as they go. Live in-game wagering options throughout tournaments, so you can make plays throughout entire games and events. Plus, great customer service available 24/7, 365. BetDSI has built a reputation on fast payments of winnings. So, if you want to watch a sport, get involved, put some money on it, go to betdsi.com, use the promo code ME25. You get $25 for free just for registering using the promo code ME25. And, of course, if you listen to the podcast, you know that if you use that code, ME25, and put money down, they will triple that money. They will give a 200% bonus match. So if you want to bet on the World Cup final this weekend, go ahead and do that. I've got France beating Belgium to become the best team in the world. Use the promo code ME25. Put some money on, make some money, and get paid fast.
And also, there's a big fight coming up. Newcomer in Blagoy Ivanov, 16-1 fighter, making his UFC debut. Only lost ever to Alexander Volkov, who's had a ton of success recently, and a lot of people are calling him the next big thing in the UFC in the heavyweight division. So this guy's very, very tough. And he's fighting Junior Dos Santos. He is a plus 145 underdog. I say throw that money on Ivanov. Who knows? Look, JDS is the fucking man, obviously, but this is free money, right? And then you get to look like the man. Nobody knows who this guy is. You're hanging out with a bunch of your friends, like, dude, I threw $25 on this guy. Watch. And the worst case scenario, you lose $25. It's not even yours.
So you get some false credit from your friends if you do that. But you're right. He is a big underdog. Dos Santos is the man. But these Russians that are unheard of, he was a World Series of Fighting champion, 16-1. He beat Fedor Emelianenko in a Sambo tournament as well. So legit grappling, big guy, 16-1, as you say. And it's free. BetDSI.com. Promo code ME25, $25. Put it on whoever you want, and there you go.
All right, let's get back into it. Can we go back before 226? And I want to this is, I guess, a little bit old news at this point because, it's been a week or so. But, you kicked up some dust in the MMA community by, turn that off, please, the volume, please. You kicked up some dust in the MMA community by, I don't want to say calling out Max Holloway, but while you were interviewing him for UFC Tonight, you had, for lack of a better term, called him out for not seeming to be with it. What happened exactly there? What did you see in that interview that made you kind of go like, what the fuck's going on with you?
Well, so, it's funny. Listen, call me journalist of the year, whatever you want to call me, but I'm just breaking stories left, right, and centre, Lewis. But so I'm on UFC tonight, and we had to interview Max Holloway, obviously, and we interviewed Brian Ortega, massive fight that was supposed to happen at the weekend, and unfortunately it didn't. Certainly, I, as well as many, many other people, were looking forward to that fight, great fight. But we had to interview me and Max, and me and Kenny Florian and I should say, we're talking about it. Prior to the interview starting, we were looking at him, and he just didn't look right. He didn't look good. He looked sick. He looked weak. He just looked off. For want of a better word, he looked off. And then when we spoke to him, he was slurring his words. And wasn't really putting together particularly coherent sentences. That might sound a bit rich coming from me, but he wasn't putting together the best sentences, and he was definitely slurring his words. He looked half asleep, and I was thinking, maybe he's just got out of bed. Maybe he's adjusted his sleep patterns, because he's fighting late at night. So maybe he's just got out of bed, But then the more I spoke to him, I thought, no, there's something more going on here. And obviously we have cards. We discuss what we're going to interview people about. We discuss the questions we're going to ask prior to them happening. And I had my next question on here, and I thought, no, I can't ignore this. I can't ignore the fact that the guy's going to fight at the weekend, but he's slurring his words and not speaking well. And it wasn't because I was trying to get a scoop or anything. I was genuinely concerned for the guy. So I asked him, I said, Max, but I tried to make a joke out of it, like I do with everything. And also I didn't want to throw him under a bus either. So I was like, Max, everything okay, bud? I mean, you look like you just got out of bed, and you look a little tired and this. And, of course, he's a fighter. He wants to fight. Obviously, he knew something was going on. But he put a brave face on it, as all fighters do. Like me with my eye for years. I always bullshitted about it, and put a brave face on it as well. And Max just gave me some, yeah, man, I'm all good, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, then later that night, I'm at the airport flying to Vegas, and the news story starts breaking. Max Holloway out of the fight, and I was like, shit. And apparently he had a concussion in training camp. Word on the street is I'm hearing he got knocked out in training camp and suffered a concussion, but he was still gonna fight. Obviously, that could have been very, very damaging for him. God knows what kind of damage he would have, taken to his brain.
How much longer? Because I know nothing about this, right? So. How much time would have passed that he would still be that lethargic after a concussion? I mean, because I think
we'll see. A lot of time can pass. I mean, it can be short or it can be long. I mean, I think his name's Chris Holdsworth. Chris Holdsworth, who was a member of Team Alpha Male. I think it was actually T.J. Dillashaw. He cracked him in sparring, and I don't think he's ever going to fight again. What was his name? There was another guy. UFC guy, I'm sorry, his name escapes me right now. He got a concussion. Sometimes a concussion can stay with you. Sometimes a concussion can end your career. So anyway, going back to the story, so Max pulled out the fight, and obviously it was reported all over the websites. And then I look at my Twitter messages in the morning, and I have a message off Max, which I don't think you'll mind me sharing this, because there's nothing controversial or whatever. He says, "Thank you for the kind words and the call out on the interview, my man. It really means a lot, and I'm grateful for it. Nothing but love for you, man." And I was like, wow. I was blown away, because it was very nice, but it was also a very honest thing for him to say.
Classy,
so
yeah.
I responded. I said, shit, man. I said, after I heard, I thought you would be pissed at me for highlighting it. You know what I mean? If you've got an injury and then a fellow fighter, a colleague, if you will, highlights it in an interview, that might be seen as a dick move. But I did it because I was concerned. And he said, nah, man, don't worry about it. Thank you again. You are a real one, my man. So that was that.
When you said something, was there a part of you that was like, this guy seems concussed, or were you just kind of wondering what was going on? Right? Because I know you'd said you thought he maybe be tired, but at that point, were you kind of calling out an injury, or were you almost just kind of saying, fuck, I can't not point out the fact that he's not acting like himself?
Well, I wasn't sure. As I say, I wasn't totally sure if it was a concussion or whatnot, or was he sick, or had he just got out of bed? You know what I mean? He might have just got out of bed, and maybe he took something to help him sleep the night before and was still super drowsy. You know, I didn't know it could have been any one of those things, so I can't pretend that I was looking and seeing signs of concussion because that's not what I was thinking. I was like, you're just off. As I said before, for want of a better word, he just seemed off. So that's why I said, Max, you good, buddy? Everything okay? Because you seem a little sleepy. And then, of course, all the rest broke. So that was a real shame at the weekend because that was, you know, of course, it was the co-main event, one of the biggest fights, and everyone was looking forward to it. It was going to be a great fight. I'm sure Max will be back very, very soon, take a well-needed break. That's the problem with MMA, man, you know. The expression is, the saying goes, you got to train the way you fight. And what I mean by that is, if you're going to fight hard and you're going to leave it all out there, you've got to train the same way. And that's the danger because, you know, obviously look at Max Holloway and look at other people in the past. When you go, if you don't push yourself in training, you don't really go for it and have that high output, then when you come to the fight, you're not going to be able to handle it. You're going to gas yourself. You're going to tire out way quicker because that's not the way you've been training. Now, people might say, well, you can still train a high output but not go as hard and hit as hard. But no, that's not true. Throwing a punch with force as hard as you can is way harder than throwing it light and fast. I can throw a million of these like little things, but putting everything into a big shot really tires you out. And I'm not saying you need to try and knock people out in training, but you've got to replicate a real fighting environment. And that's where the danger of training for mixed martial arts or boxing or any contact sport for that matter comes in, you know. So it is, you know, to train for these high-level fights, that's the way it's got to be. And unfortunately, these things happen. So it's not Max's fault, certainly not the UFC's or Brian Ortega's or anyone's fault.
Of course.
It's just a byproduct of the sport that we do.
But also it sucks because it's the second fight in a row, UFC 222, he had to pull out. What was that injury? It was a different injury. I don't remember what it was.
That wasn't an injury. That was just a wake-up. Remember, he took that fight at super short notice against Khabib Nurmagomedov, right? Is that what you're talking about?
I thought, was it an injury? I'm almost... Yeah.
No, he pulled out of the fight against Khabib. He was supposed to go in as a what's it called? A late replacement for... Who was Khabib supposed to fight?
No, leg injury right here.
Injured his leg, and then Max was stepping in. So there you go. But no. He doesn't have a history of pulling out. He just took a fight short notice, could have made the weight, and then as luck would have it, he had a concussion in his next one. That's what
I'm talking about. Him hurting himself for the Edgar fight.
Why is this monitor just on me constantly?
I don't know.
There's two people in this conversation. Can we get a split screen action going on?
Yeah, Harrington, make it fucking work, buddy. You know what? Shannon's not here. When Shannon's not here, the whole tone of the room.
Because it all changes, you know.
Yeah.
When that goes there, because I don't want all that shit in the corner on display.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway. Whatever.
Harrington doesn't have a good eye. You know, it's fine.
Say again?
Harrington doesn't have a good eye. It's Shannon's day off. I can't fucking hate.
Harrington. Bow, 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 bow.
Don't even get him started with the fucking soundboard. Please do not.
No,
yeah.
Don't you worry. I'm pretty sure we lost a quarter of our subscribers with that shit because we took it to the max. It was funny for a second.
They all jumped over to the Chelsea podcast. Guaranteed. So, here's what I was thinking this, though. 2 fights in a row, even being a champion, that has to hurt, you know, financially.
No, it wasn't 2 fights in a row. I'm not allowing you to say that. It wasn't 2 fights in a row because the first one that you're talking about.
I'm right.
Harrington, speak up. Don't nod your head in the background. I can see you on the split screen, motherfucker.
I don't know if you remember when Cyborg versus Katetsunya, when that fight got thrown together with like 2 weeks' notice. That was because Holloway got injured ahead of his fight with Frankie Edgar, which is why Ortega stepped in and knocked out Edgar.
All right. Well, why didn't you speak up sooner? I thought you were still referring to the Khabib Nurmagomedov. Okay, that's what I referenced. You didn't correct me. You didn't say, no, we're talking about the Kunitskaya. You never said that. You never said that. You never said.
By the way,
there was no reference to it. There was no mention to it. There was no, Michael, we're not talking about the Khabib Nurmagomedov fight. We're talking about the Frankie Edgar fight or whatever the fuck it was. You never said that.
You're right. Fine, you're right. I'm somehow wrong still.
Yeah. Plain and simple. Jesus Christ, Lewis. So anyway, all right. Well, all right. Allow me to say this. I'm not here to say that Max Holloway's a pull-out merchant because I don't believe he is. So
no, that's not what I'm saying.
That's right. He did. He pulled out the Frankie Edgar fight because he injured his foot. I believe. Is that correct?
Knee. Now, listen, the point that I'm making, though, is 2 fights in a row, that's a very, very big deal. That has to hurt. I mean, how much, even as a UFC champion, now, it's not like Max is fucking, Conor McGregor making that type of money. That's a half a year of not fighting and not making money, going through camps, going through paying your training, because you still have to pay your training partners, you still have to pay everybody, right?
Yeah. The problem with you pull out of a fight, pardon me, especially close to the fight. Like yesterday, I got the news Alan Joe Ban was supposed to fight in Germany this weekend, and he's just pulled out. I don't even know if that's public shit. I might have just. Is that public? Is that public?
I'll find out right now.
Sorry, UFC. I'm sorry. I thought that was out there. It must be out there. It must be out. Just type in Alan Joe Ban.
Nope.
Oh well, he is. He's out. Fuck. Anyway, and I was saying, but the problem is when you do a training camp, of course, you put all that time and effort. Yeah, the money is one thing, and the money is very significant because that's why we do it as fighters. We're trying to make money. So then if you do a training camp, you pay all your training partners and this and that. And sometimes you still have to pay your coaches. I've done training camps in the past when I was fighting Mark Munoz and I had to pull out when my retina redetached for the second time. I still had to pay. I was working with a new coach at the time. I won't mention his name. And we had a set fee. And at the end of it, he said, okay, well, you did this. You did 4 weeks out of the 8 weeks. So that's 50%. So I want 50% of the money. I was like, all right, cool. Take the money. Guess what? I never fucking worked with him again, because that's not how it works. The fight, if we'd have done a whole camp, yeah, maybe. But I'm like, you're just clearly in it for the money. So I gave him his pro-rated amount and said, cheers, bon voyage. But it's the time and effort and the sacrifice, The amount of effort it takes to get ready for an MMA fight, certainly a world-class MMA fight, is ridiculous. To do all that work and have to pull out at the last minute, it hurts. It hurts financially. It hurts physically. It hurts mentally. Sacrifice time away from your children. So it's a shame for Max. But as I say, I am not labeling him a pull-out merchant. He just had some bad luck.
No, yeah, I think it does happen. I don't know anybody who would want to pull out of a fight, right? What's the point of of going through all of that? There's really not much upside to booking a fight, pulling out, especially on that level. So hopefully we'll see Max back soon.
So that was the supposed to be the co-main event, and then because he pulled out, the new co-main event became Derek Lewis versus Francis Ngannou.
And everyone was like, "Yeah, this fucking fight."
Split screen. I prefer split screen, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
I prefer split screen. Nobody wants my face zoomed in. Look
You're
at
a beautiful man, Michael
plus,
Bisping.
I can see what you guys are doing in the background, so I prefer that.
Yeah.
Shaking heads and nodding.
It's a lot of this fucking guy. Fucking asshole.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes, when that fight,
the new co-main then became Derek Lewis versus Francis Ngannou, and on the post-fight show, and I even said this line. I said, "Listen, of course we're here to hype the fights. Of course everyone knows that, but this fight hypes itself. There is no way that this fight doesn't deliver." I said about Ngannou and Derek Lewis. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's just no way.
This fight's going to deliver like Papa John's.
Exactly. That was a terrible line, Lewis. I will not be using that one.
That was, hold on. See, you don't even get it because you don't know the very topical reference that was today because the CEO of Papa John's, or the guy, Papa John, had to step down today for using the N-word on a call.
Well, that's disgraceful of him, but I'm sorry that I'm not up to date with all things going on in the Papa John's world.
That was a solid fucking reference right there. Two big black guys, Papa John's reference, deliver like Papa John's. That was good. Good writing.
It's going to deliver like FedEx.
Okay, fine.
It will definitely not deliver like the UPS mail service. Anyway,
it will not deliver like this episode of the podcast.
It will definitely won't deliver like Monday's episode of the podcast because it didn't exist.
13 minutes or less, or it's free.
It was free, motherfucker. What do you want from me? Stand there for 30 minutes going on like I'm fucking some fucking Luke Thomas wannabe, fucking John Morgan, MMA junkie radio dick face. No. I'll give you a quick minute, die a little bit inside, and say bon voyage. I'm signing off. Fuck this.
Bon voyage. That's the word of the day.
Fucking France playing in the World Cup final, homie.
There you go. So yes,
anyway.
Nobody thought this fight wasn't going to deliver. It was impossible to not be fireworks, easy first round knockout. Don't blink. Holy shit. We're,
all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And
what
then
happened?
the fight is a staring contest. For 15
What happened there?
minutes. Well, I got some things to say on this, believe it or not. Excuse me, coffee. So, 15 minutes staring contest, 15-minute shadow boxing contest, no one doing anything. Herb Dean steps in at one point, warns them both. Derek Lewis did more than Ngannou, so that's why he got the victory. Derek Lewis did some surprisingly athletic, like jumping switch kicks. That was the technique he threw the most. But still, both guys were very inactive. Not a lot happened. As I say, Herb Dean warned them. Even after the fact, people are talking about what can you do to punish fighters that behave like this. But here was my thoughts on the night. And if I'm wrong, I apologize. Now, Derek Lewis, here's what I do admire, saying that they had no choice, but I do admire the fact that afterwards Derek Lewis was very critical of himself, and Francis Ngannou put out a public apology on Twitter again, saying that he was ashamed of himself. So, you know, I don't want to kick them too much, because they've acknowledged it. You know, they've acknowledged it. They're sorry. They let everyone down, let themselves down, etc., etc. So, you know, I don't want to kick a man while he's down. But both of those guys, Derek Lewis is known as the Black Beast because he's absolutely gigantic. He has to cut weight to make 265. And Francis Ngannou is a gigantic man. They're both gigantic men that generally always have the physical advantage size-wise in a fight. So they'll have the size and power advantage, and they've made a career out of that. They've been the bigger guy. They've been the harder hitting guy. They've been the imposing guy. They can fuck with people mentally because they're so big and strong. But then when they're met with somebody that can meet those attributes face to face, they freeze and they don't want to engage because they're like, hold on a minute. If I go into the firing line, this guy can knock me out. And the other guy thinks the same thing. Oh, if I go into the firing line, he can knock me out. But unfortunately, that's what we sign up for. You're not always going to be the bigger guy. You're not always going to be the harder hitting guy. You know, the amount of times I've gone into fights and I've thought, shit, this guy's big. Fuck, he's a knockout artist. You know, man, I got to be careful here. But guess what? You sign the contract to fight. So that's what you have to do. So even though you have these thoughts, you have these insecurities, you have these inner demons where you think, fuck, this guy's good, you got to say, fuck it. Got to go for it. Yeah. This is what I'm here to do. Even though he's bigger, I still think I'll be faster or whatever. And I'm going to go for it because that's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm paid to do. I'm a fighter. I'm paid to fight. And you're going to walk into fire and hope that you come out alive. You know what I mean? You're going to go into that fucking firing zone, swing, bite down on your mouthpiece and say, let's fucking have it then. Come on, fuck it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see who the bigger man is, you know, not physically, but let's see who can pull it off. Let's go. They didn't do that.
Is there anything?
Shit, I can't do this. He's too big. So they stood off for 15 minutes. You know, so they need to take a good long look in the mirror.
Is there anything about just going into survival mode in a weird way, where your body doesn't allow, or you don't, your mind almost doesn't allow your body to let go that way? I think back to the Rampage versus John Jones fight. It was such a weird fight because Rampage wouldn't throw more than one punch. It was like, at a time, I just remember being like, why is he doing this? And then just kind of going like, well, is he just going like, dude, if I throw more than one punch, I'm going to get fucking knocked out? And almost like his body wouldn't allow himself to do it. It's almost like shuts down. So with both those guys, it just seemed like they were waiting for something to happen, but almost like in kind of a weird survival mode where they just wouldn't allow themselves to pull the trigger.
Well, I think Lewis and Ngannou were both fighting not to lose. You know what I mean? And there's a big, big difference. It seemed like Ngannou was waiting to counter Lewis. Now, Ngannou spoke about that. He said, listen, the problem is I came into that fight with the fear from my last fight. Of course, his last fight was against Stipe Miocic. But against Stipe, he didn't really take a ton of damage. You know, he lost by decision. Yeah. It's not like he got knocked out cold. And, you know, I hate to bring myself into this conversation again like the huge narcissist that I will sound like. But here's a perfect example. Look at that grid. Look at that. That's why I need you on two screens, split screens, as it were. You know, Harrington, don't fucking black out Lewis's little sarcastic, the glint in the eye. I see the mocking. You're not even saying it. Go on, say it. Get it off your chest.
No, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, you know, you're like, oh, I hate to make it about me, Michael Bisping, who knows how to make anything about him.
No.
He's
Listen,
like, let me explain to you how I can relate to.
I'm giving you an example. UFC 100, we all know I got knocked out viciously against Dan Henderson. Okay, everyone said he'll never come back from that knockout. Simple as that. My next fight, I was fighting Dennis Kang, who came over from Pride, had a big reputation. He was top 10 at the time. And, tough fighter in Manchester in my own backyard, so a ton of pressure. And on top of that, in the training camp, I got sparked out a couple of times. We brought in some good boxers, and I got caught a couple of times. And they had to call off the training session, because I wasn't out cold, but I got dropped and wobbled a couple of times. So walking into that fight, of course, there's demons. My last fight, I got knocked out cold. They call it being gun shy. You get knocked out and then you're gun shy and then your career is over. But as I say, at some point you're just going to say, well, we're going to do this. We're here to fight, so let's give the people what they pay to see. And if you won't do that, then you're not doing what you get paid to do. And then you got to go do something else. So that led us to have a discussion on UFC Tonight last night about what to do with fighters in that situation. And some people suggest taking a point from the fighters. But you can't, if both guys aren't initiating the fight sequences, you got to take a point of both of them.
It does nothing. It's a wash.
Both of them, you're in the exact same position. So who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? It's like, now it's a 9-9 round instead of a 10-10. It might as well be a fucking 2-2 because it doesn't matter because the score is the same. What I suggest is in that situation is what they used to do in Pride. Okay, fighters are prize fighters, and the prize is the money. We all fight for the money. As soon as you start fucking waving a yellow card like they did in Pride and saying, okay, you just lost 10% of your purse. You just lost 20% of your purse. Then they start thinking, oh, shit, we got to step on this gas because I want to go home with something. I've done all this fucking training camp. Yeah. I've done all this work and sacrifice, and I flew across the world, and I haven't seen my family, and I've run, and I've got out of bed at 6 a.m., and I haven't had a steak or a dessert when I wanted one. I didn't have a glass of wine. And now you're telling me I'm not going to get paid the same amount because I'm not doing it. Fuck this, let's go, bang. That is the number one way to make people fight. And I see Harrington nodding his head in the background in agreement, or at some porn or something he's looking at on that screen.
Yeah. Harrington, here's the problem with Harrington. He's great, and he's really good. Harrington does a great job when we ever ask him to come in. But he just doesn't have great etiquette. Like, even in the background, I hear him just slamming his fat fingers onto the keyboard. Like he's fucking, like he's got a spaceship in the air, and he's got to just get the most important message to them before it explodes. What is going on back there? Why are you so clicky and fucking loud?
He's agreeing with the brilliance that I'm suggesting, correct, Harrington?
I love the idea of yellow cards.
Yeah.
No, but what was going on back there? What was going on?
I was just writing.
What was the furious nodding for?
Just a couple notes about Lewis, some comments he had after the fight.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, what did he say?
What were those
Please
notes?
chime
What
in.
was that?
Hammer fisting with Harrington.
All right. Well, basically, he said that his back was seizing up on him early in the first round. Some doctors came over, and there was really not much more that he could do at that point. His coaches implored him to use takedowns to try to ground out the fight. Lewis was quoted as saying, "I don't know how to do those." So there was really not much he could do as far as being an explosive, heavyweight who could throw combos like that.
I don't know how to do those as in, like,
right.
I can't do them.
Lewis did say afterwards, and again, it was very honest of him, and that's why I have a ton of respect for Derek Lewis, so I'm not talking shit. Both guys just had a bad night at the office, and sometimes that happens, so they get a pass. You know what I mean? If they continue to do it, then they'll soon find themselves out of the UFC. I'm sure next time both guys are going to come back as killers. Yeah. But Lewis, in his typical hilarious fashion, and once again, if you don't follow him on Instagram, everyone watching this, please give him a follow. He said, my coaches were saying, do a takedown. And he's like, I don't know how to do a takedown for shit, so maybe I need to really work on that, but I can't take anyone down.
So he was being funny.
So, what?
He was being funny by saying it.
Yeah, no, he was being self-deprecating and funny. Yeah, no, of course he was. But I'm saying it gave me a chuckle, Lewis. I know it was a joke. But thanks for pointing it out, Mr. Comedian.
Well, no, Harrington fucking hammer fisting with Happy Harrington back there. He puts it as like, literally, I write out of context, Derek Lewis says he doesn't know how to do a takedown. This is the note that I'm getting here on my fucking screen right now. So I'm like, what is going on? Please explain this. So, yeah, contextually speaking, that makes more sense.
Self-deprecating humor. Yeah. All right, let's take a quick moment to hear from one of our sponsors, LinkedIn. You've all heard of LinkedIn. A business is only as strong as its people, and every hire matters. So don't settle for posting and hoping the right person will find your role and apply. Instead, choose LinkedIn. LinkedIn is more than the world's largest professional network. It's also a better way to find great talent. Think about it. How often do you check job boards? Probably never these days. It's all done online. For most people, it's a pretty occasional thing, but there is a place where you can go to daily to grow professionally, and that is LinkedIn. 70% of the U.S. workforce is already on LinkedIn. That's a lot of people. And 22 million professionals view and apply to jobs on LinkedIn every week in all kinds of industries. Just ask any of the hundreds of thousands of businesses who have posted to LinkedIn jobs over the past year. They rate LinkedIn jobs 40% higher than job boards at delivering quality candidates because LinkedIn considers skills, experiences, location, and more to match and promote your job to potential candidates.
Well, think of it like this, right? Well, I don't mean to interrupt you, Mike, but if you think about what LinkedIn does, right, and the way it utilizes social media, it is linking you with people and jobs that make sense for you. There's so much more that goes into it than a simple ad on some message board where they're like, hey, come and interview for this job. They're actually using technology in order to link the right people with the right jobs. It's like using a map to go on a cross-country trip, or now using an application that takes, data and traffic and all this other stuff into consideration to get you there the absolute most efficient way possible. So that's the difference between LinkedIn and everywhere else where you're going to post, a job.
You're saying it's like using an old-school paper map in your car whilst you're trying to drive, or using an iPhone propped in a very, very driver-safe phone-holding device and having it linked to the Bluetooth and reading the directions through your stereo.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Well, I want to get involved with that, Lewis. How does one do that? I hear you say. I hear you query. I hear you wonder. Well, it's very simple. Go to linkedin.com/believe and get $50 off your first job post. Come on. You're looking to hire someone. Company's growing. Good for you. You got to expand. You got to do it right. Go to linkedin.com/believe. $50 off your first job post. That is linkedin.com/believe for $50 off. And, of course, terms and conditions apply.
All right. Let's get back into it.
So that fight didn't deliver, but fortunately, the main event did.
Yes,
if you
it did.
care to watch my, how long? 12 minutes and 37 seconds that you've got ingrained on your mind that you feel free to bring up every 5 minutes? Is that how long it was, Lewis?
I know it
no
wasn't.
Ads, ad-free, free content on vacation in Vegas with my family, flying helicopters, come back. No, I've got to do the breakdown. I've got to do the unpaid work. I've got to put it on YouTube.
30 minutes.
Yeah, but still not good enough. Still not good enough. Okay, all right.
I'm just saying what you said you were going to do. First, it wasn't supposed. It was supposed to be a podcast.
30 minutes, and then after a bit, I'm like, I'm done talking to myself. I'm talking to myself. Okay, I am done talking to a computer screen, looking back at a vision of myself. I am literally talking to an image of myself. I'm like, no, this is not what I want to do. I'll do a podcast back and forth, but the flying solo, maybe we'll do it if people liked it. I'll do
Look, you're making me feel like I'm needed, and I'm not going to argue with you. So that's all I need, baby.
I need you, Lewis.
This is it.
I need you.
I called it. You didn't really call it. I just want to point that out. I specifically said on the show, Daniel Cormier is going to win. Now, you said, like, I'm friends with him. I have nothing but respect for him, blah, 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 blah. But you were definitely leaning towards Stipe Miocic in that fight. And I just want to, once in a while, I get to gloat. I was right.
Okay. Did that feel good?
Not as good as I wanted it to be honest.
Did it feel good? Exactly.
No.
It wasn't everything it was made out to be.
I thought it was going to be better.
You came across a little smug, a little narcissistic.
It's true.
Everyone on the comment section of YouTube are turning against me and now loving Lewis.
That's right, motherfuckers. I win him over.
After that comment, Lewis, I'm not so sure now. Maybe they're going to U-turn.
Can I tell you why? Here's what happens, right? Because it's not even that they're turning on you. People fall in love with me after a little while, and they don't even get it. They're like they don't. My girlfriend described it. She's like, it's like beer. She's like, at first you take a sip, you're like, I hate this.
It's
I never want to.
At first, you're really annoyed about the fight, but then after a while, you just got to embrace it.
Yeah, then you're like, I could fuck anybody. Let's go. Freedom.
Oh God.
So the point is that if you now
you did pick DC and I did pick Stipe. That said, honestly, and that's what makes DC's victory so much better because I didn't see it coming. And I'm really happy it did happen for him because he's a great guy and he deserves it. He's been through a lot of, a lot of hardships in his life. And to see where he is now is fantastic. Now, I'm not the best friends with Daniel Cormier, but I got a good relationship with him. I'm not like one of his boys in his inner circle. I can't pretend to be, but I have a good relationship with him. Obviously, I work with him regularly. Great guy, great family man, hard-working, dedicated, and for all the ball busting and what that he does, still very humble. A lot of similarities to myself, to be honest. I said all those good things about him and then say them about me. No, but I think that's why we get on, is what I'm saying. And yeah, to go out there and become, the double champ. DC used to stand for default champ. Now DC stands for double champ, which is pretty remarkable. It really is.
Yeah.
So God bless him. And he's going to make a ton of money now.
It's the most
I don't know
impressive.
how the pay-per-views were. Harrington, just Google 226 pay-per-view buys while Lewis says something of no consequence.
The early numbers say it's slightly under 400,000.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's not.
That's
It's
surprising.
nothing. I don't think it's that surprising because there's nobody that's that crazy. I think we're in the era of if you're in the 400,000 to 500,000 range, that's the new 750,000 to a million. It's just there's so many pay-per-views. There's a few stars that they really, really push. And I think if you do 400,000 to 500,000 buys, I think that's very, very good today in MMA for UFC. If you look at all their numbers, it seems like all the pay-per-views have been a little bit lower.
And not to mention the fact that there's fights nearly every weekend. There's MMA on other channels, other products, and all
So
this type
much
of thing.
supply and demand.
And TV viewership. I mean, I don't know about this for sure, but I think I'm right. I think TV viewership across the board is down. Anyway,
People steal it. People steal it, dude. I was playing video games with just some fans around the country, right? But we'll shout out. We do have a couple BYM fans that play Fortnite with me, which is pretty fucking great. And my username PR Rattlesnake, if you guys want to play. But every one of them, it was crazy. Every single one of them. This is a different generation because these are 18 to 25-year-old kids that are college kids, right? So I'm like, I'm going to go order UFC 226 now, guys. I'll see you later. They're like, order it. They're like, dude, just go to this fucking one
really?
subreddit with free fights. And they said the stream is perfect. They're like, go to this other website.
Really?
Every one of them. This is like, I played with probably 4 or 5 different kids that day. They were like, yeah, we're not paying for it. So I think a huge reason why there's a big decline in pay-per-view buys is because this generation who's getting into MMA now, I think a vast, vast majority of them just aren't paying for it. They get it online, or they watch the highlights afterwards. It's just not the same thing.
I think you're right, and I've never really thought about that, but that is definitely a part of it because even on your phone, everybody has a smart device these days, and even on your phone, you can stream it on your phone. And I've never streamed a UFC pay-per-view. I have no need, but I've streamed boxing fights that happen in the UK that aren't airing in the US. You know what I mean? Like, say, when there's a boxer that I know that I follow from the UK and I want to see that fight, I cannot, even if I wanted to, pay for the pay-per-view in the US. So I put it on Twitter or whatever, then I get links to streams, and it's super easy. I don't even need to be sat on a computer or a laptop. My phone will do it. So that's actually a good point when you think about it. Nearly every, I mean, unless we're talking third world countries and, people in poverty and whatnot, most people have a smart device these days, and they can do it very easily.
The streaming is getting stronger, cheaper, better. I mean, dude, 5 years ago, I used to get the, it was sports, whatever, firstrowsports.eu was the website back in the day. I don't even know, it probably still exists, right? Which, I'm not telling, in fact, bleep the name out because I don't want to fuck. Is that going to be hard? Fuck it, don't bleep the name out. I don't give a shit.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, Lewis.
The point is, I used to go there back in the day, and it was very annoying to watch the fight because it would come in very blurry. It would stop and go, and you have to find they'd have a bunch of links. You'd have to find the right one. But now dude, the technology is there where you just get a perfect stream. So why would
I don't have. Go on, sorry.
But why would these 18-year-old kids, if they can do it now? Now, if you have it at your fingertips, you click a button and it's free, and there's a subreddit set up. It's like free fight streams or something like that. Why wouldn't you go do it? I don't understand why I spent the $65.
I'm away out of the house, and Callum is still choosing to spend the fucking $65 on the pay-per-view rather than stream it from Reddit. Callum! The little shit. He buys the pay-per-view every time, but he definitely knows how to stream it.
Yeah.
Little fuck.
And that's what they do. They counterbalance the revenue they lose for that by charging now $65 for the baseline pay-per-view. And it used to be, I mean, when did it jump from 45 to 65? That just happened out of nowhere.
No, I went to 40 to 50 to 59, now to 65.
It's crazy.
Also, another thing as well, I don't have one, and I need to get one because I do miss a lot of English TV. But apparently there's these boxes, I forget what you call them now, and you can get pay-per-views, brand new movies, TV channels from all over the world.
It's like Fire Stick or something?
Firebox or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, something
Cody.
like that. I don't know what they're called. That sounds like a big lie. But I don't. I would like one though because I want the English TV shows. I do miss a bit of Come Dine With Me, but
A little bit of Mr. Bane.
So hold on. So it was just under 400,000. You never know. That might go up. But I tell you what. It certainly delivered, and DC did amazing. You know, I spoke about it the other day, so we won't go into it too much.
Yeah.
But Stipe was the bigger guy. Stipe was a victim of his own success because he was winning those grappling sequences, and that allowed Daniel in the pocket, and he swung that massive hook. And it was a beautiful hook, and he even predicted it. He predicted a first-round knockout on the Fox desk. Kenny Florian was even saying, oh, my God, I feel like he's going to knock him out as the fight was happening, and then it happened. And then I don't know why it happens. I'm sure there's a technical reason. But as soon as the fight stops, we have to start our post-fight show on FS1. And whilst all, the madness of Brock Lesnar coming in and this and that, we're live on air with our headsets on in the arena. And the noise was just deafening. And I mean deafening. And I wanted to turn around and watch what was going on. We're trying to oh, hey, guys, welcome to the FS1 pre-fight, post-fight show, blah, 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 blah. And all hell was breaking loose in the background, and we couldn't hear a damn thing. But, of course, Brock Lesnar came in, pushed DC. DC pushed him back, which was, I said, he definitely lost the pushing competition because DC flew across the cage. DC's push back looked very womanly, if I must admit.
Yeah, DC pushed him, and then DC still fell back a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
DC looked like he hurt his hand pushing Brock.
But that's going to be a big fight, man. That's going to be absolutely gigantic. And I couldn't be happier for Daniel.
Yeah.
He really deserves it.
As a personal level, I think DC is amazing. And look, dude, fuck that. Fuck John Jones. Fuck what you heard. Daniel Cormier is the fucking baddest man on the planet right now. Pound for pound, everything else, dude, he went out from light heavyweight and is the best at light heavyweight and beat the man at heavyweight. There's no debate, in my opinion, that he's absolutely the best pound for pound fighter in the world right now. I gotta say,
number one on the UFC pound for pound rankings now as well.
He should be, as he should be.
Yeah, he's number one on the pound for pound rankings, and he was in studio yesterday on UFC Tonight. We were interviewing him when he realized it because they put it up on the big screen, and he was obviously very thrilled and touched to see that. I mean, that's a big moment for anybody. To be considered number one pound for pound in the world is just a massive accomplishment. So well done, Daniel Cormier.
He's a monster, dude, and he's done it natural. You can look at Dan Cormier has never even looked at a steroid. You look at Daniel Cormier's body. That motherfucker does not take steroids, okay? He does it naturally.
No, for sure.
And,
for sure. But that is kind of naive, Lewis. I know it is. With respect to think that because not all steroids do that. And I think there's people, I was going to say a name then, but I won't because I don't know it for a fact, so it's not fair to the person, that kind of have those physiques that have done steroids, but DC is not that guy. DC definitely isn't that guy. He's wrestled his whole life. Even now in between training camps, he's running wrestling camps for kids.
Yeah.
He has his own Daniel Cormier wrestling program, a lot of subscribers, and a lot of people involved with that. He's a busy man.
And he's also been performing at the highest level for such a long time. Olympics, college athlete. He's been being tested for performance-enhancing drugs for a very, very long time. He's never been caught doing anything shady or weird. So, in my opinion, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's never been ever even smoke with DC.
Not so much as a
that's why I put him ahead of John Jones. So the reality, though, if they give Brock Lesnar a title shot, I mean, I cannot accept that. I can. I'm going to buy it.
I think the other day I kind of broke that down a little bit because everyone is bitching about that. I say everyone. I've seen some reports, some tweets, some journalists talking about it, saying that was bullshit. Now, the reason for that is a good, valid reason. His record since 2010, I believe, is 0 wins, 2 losses, and 1 no contest. And he's only just finished a suspension for steroids, and he's going to walk into a title shot. Okay, that obviously rubs some people up the wrong way. But
I want to see the argument there. You literally listed out every reason why he could never have a title shot. Coming off two losses and a no contest for steroids. Please, I'd love to hear this.
You're right. Listen, and I said this the other day, so I don't want to say, I'm going to say in a normal sport, but this is, it's a combat sport, and people love seeing these freak show matches. Daniel Cormier is the champ. He is the champ. He is the double champ. And as the champion, you get a say in what you want. There is no clear-cut contender out there right now. Stipe Miocic just got knocked out in the first round. I don't believe he deserves an immediate rematch. He didn't even mention that himself. Francis Ngannou got beat off Stipe and looked terrible Saturday night. Derek Lewis won, but also looked terrible Saturday night. Curtis Blades would be the next one in line, but he's probably a little bit young and doesn't really attract any star power. Very formidable fighter, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's there just yet. He maybe needs one or two more wins. So there is no clear-cut contender out there. Daniel Cormier is retiring in March. He's made that very adamant. He confirmed it again yesterday. March 30th, I think. He said, that's it, I'm done. When he turns 40 years old, he's out of this sport. For his service to this sport, for the fact he was willing to step up to heavyweight and do that, for the fact he knocked out the heavyweight champ in the first round, he's never tested positive for steroids, he's been a great ambassador for this sport, he gets a fucking say in who he wants to fight next. And for that reason, if he wants to fight Brock Lesnar and it makes the UFC a ton of money, and in the meantime, it's not going to be a year from now, it's going to be very quick, it's going to be in March sometime, why not? Let it happen. Everyone's going to watch. You're going to watch. WWE fans might watch. They might then convert to MMA fans. The sport gets even bigger. Huge highlight for it. Everyone makes money. DC makes money. That's why I support it.
I support the fight. I support the fight wholeheartedly. 100%. I want to see that fight. Oh, my God. I want to see Daniel Cormier beat the fuck out of Brock Lesnar. There's no chance. Brock's got no shot. No shot. He's not going to bully DC around. He's not going to get on top of him and lay on top. DC's a better wrestler than Brock Lesnar. He's more athletic than Brock Lesnar. He's been fighting. He's been winning. He's the fucking champion. 0% chance that Brock Lesnar wins that fight. My problem is it's for a UFC title shot. They can do the fight. It doesn't need to be for a belt. They can put Brock Lesnar on a poster. They don't need to have a fucking title shot there. It discredits the title.
If you're the champion, if you fight, it's for the belt.
No.
So the only way that could happen is if DC was to really relinquish the belt.
I don't think that's true.
He can't fight in the UFC in either light heavyweight or heavyweight and it not be for the belt. He can't.
Yeah, DC fought Silva in a non-title fight at 205. And also on top of that, Brock Lesnar right now is still suspended through January. So if they're going to do this fight, they're going to have to do it overseas.
Yeah, he's not suspended. The suspension is served. He now has to go into the USADA testing.
Right, which will take until January in order for him to be eligible. Will take into
January. And so, yeah. So I hear what you're saying, Lewis. I'm not disagreeing. It is taboo. It is one of those situations. But if as I say, if DC wants it, then go for
fight.
it. Let him have it.
And they can make the parameters of the fight, even if it's a non-title fight. They can make the parameters still the same, where DC is making the money off the pay-per-views. It just, for me, the story makes more sense. Brock Lesnar's not eligible to fight for USADA right now until January, so let's do the fight overseas where Brock could fucking juice to the gills, because I don't trust Brock Lesnar's not doing steroids ever. And then they can do the fight before January and just do it for...
There's no way that... Yeah, you're right. I agree with what you're saying in essence, but of course, see my earlier points. I'm not going to reiterate them and repeat myself. But... I think Brock's going to have a hard time going 6 months in the testing pool and not test positive. You know what I mean? And even though Cain Velasquez beat him from pillar to post and manhandled him, if he does 6 months without the special sauce, he's going to be weak mentally and physically because he's, I don't know Brock. I've met him on a couple of occasions and he was very cordial and he shook my hand and fucking nearly sucked me up into it. His hands are absolutely gigantic. It's ridiculous. But he's clearly done a lot of steroids throughout his life, so it's no wonder that he's tested. Is it twice in the UFC, once with Mark Hunt? Is it twice? I think it's twice.
I think he only tested positive once. There's been a lot of speculation.
We certainly done a life of steroids.
You remember that interview he did years ago when he was first started fighting, and they were like, "Well, Brock, we obviously have to, ask you this," and they show like a picture of him in like sophomore year in college, and he's like, 200 pounds and kind of skinny, and then they show him like the next year, and he's all muscly. They're like, "So did you ever do any performance enhancing drugs?" And he gets furious in the interview. He pulls off the microphone and says, "This interview is fucking done," and throws it down and storms off. He wasn't even like.
I never saw that one, but his response to the steroid allegations are, "I'm a jacked white boy. Deal with it." That's what he says.
Yeah,
I'm a jacked white boy. Deal with it.
I don't think Brock Lesnar
of course
cares.
He's juicing. He's a fucking WWE wrestler. They all do it, and more power to them. They're not competing in a legit sport. Problem is, you're now crossing over into a real sport, and you can't do that. And also, to be fair, he's still going to have benefits from them. A study came out a while ago that any gains you make whilst under the effect of steroids cross over and take years to be eradicated from your body, if ever. Because you still generate that strength and you generate that muscle. If you then clear your body of the steroids, but you still keep up a training regime and a diet where you can maintain that muscle, you know what I'm saying? He's still going to have the benefits of it, but whatever. The fight's happening, Lewis. We just got to deal with it.
I think it's going to happen.
Pontificate over it all day long. The fucking fight's happening, Lewis. I don't own the UFC. It's happening, and it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the reality is, I don't think Brock Lesnar cares. I think this is sort of what happened last time. He's cool. He's like, yeah, I'll make millions of dollars. I'll get popped for steroids, and fuck you. I'll do steroids again the next time, 3 years later when they want to book me again. He doesn't want to be a fighter and have that fighter life. He wants to come and make these cash grabs. He's an entertainer. He's it's almost like like kind of what Bob Sapp does. Bob Sapp's not an MMA fighter. Bob Sapp just does the fights when he can get booked for them for whatever he can do. But Brock's just a huge star at a much, much higher level. So it's like a freak show.
And here's the thing as well, and I want to make this point clear as well, because I've been I've been a big advocate of clean sport. And for the right reason. Mm-hmm. But this is a one-off spectacle. This isn't like Brock Lesnar's coming to the UFC and he's going to try and make a career of it, and he's going to fight contenders along the way and possibly do them damage like I saw. He's coming in for one fight. The general consensus from everybody is that he's going to get absolutely smoked, and then he'll leave. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for a one-off like that, and everyone kind of knows, and DC knows what he's getting himself into. Okay, I'll sign off on it. As I say, DC wants it. He's the champ. He's the double champ. If he wants it, then let him have it.
And we all want to see it.
Incidentally, I did say to Daniel Cormier yesterday, I said, well, remember what Cain Velasquez did to Brock Lesnar? And his response was, I ain't no Cain Velasquez. That's why you gotta admire DC. Now, of course, that's a little bit of modesty there, and but still, the fact that he says things like that is very endearing.
Yeah, he's very DC as well. He sort of turned a corner a couple of years ago. I think it was John Jones having that nemesis, then also having a nemesis that like comes off as pretty unlikable. It sort of made me really appreciate how good DC is on the microphone, how good he is as an entertainer. He's very real, but also kind of knows how to get like the crowd pumped up. So I love DC, and good for him, man. I'm really happy that he won. Nobody saw him winning the fight by knockout. I think that anybody who saw him winning the fight thought was gonna.
Yeah, no, he did great. Congrats, all the rest of it. So.
Mike, we got to talk about Infinite CBD, which is a great new sponsor on the show. InfiniteCBD.com is the website. If you don't know what CBD is, it keeps your body's endocannabinoid system balanced, keeping you healthy, sharp. It's 100% legal. It doesn't get you high. A lot of people think it's weed. It's not weed. It's the chemical in marijuana and hemp that doesn't actually get you high, but has a ton of medical benefits. Research has shown that it reduces inflammation, cures anxiety, helps with pain relief, and so many more things. Go do a Google search right now on the benefits of CBD, and there's going to be a laundry list of things that it does. Michael Bisping, I know you've been talking. You tell me before you do the show every week. You're like, dude, I'm using the topical cream, the freezing topical ointment. And you literally, verbally, I hear the joy in your voice as you're putting it on your old man knees.
Well, steady on a bit, Lewis, but you're absolutely right. Right now, my neck is pissing me off so much, and I'm using the freezing point on my neck and my knee, always on my fucking knee. I've had the diagnosed, by the way. I've got a popliteal cyst in the back of my knee, so it's causing a lot of pain, but that does relieve it. And my neck, I'm having a lot of issues with my neck right now, and I do use the freezing topical cream for aches and pains, and it just helps relieve it. And as you said before, CBD, nothing to do with getting high. It's just an extract from the plant. So, yeah, I mean, that is one of many, many products that it does have. It has peppermint oil inside it, known as a natural painkiller and a muscle relaxant. Also has eucalyptus oil. Helps with pain relieving and stress to your skin. And, of course, as we mentioned, CBD. I truly recommend this. It's a fantastic product that I use frequently. So get involved with it. Try the products. It's fantastic. We've got a great offer for you. Go to the website, infinitecbd.com, and you can click the link in the episode's description. If you use the promo code BELIEVE, you'll get 15% off any purchase.
Wow.
So, once again, that's infinitecbd.com. Use the promo code BELIEVE for 15% of their amazing products, or you can go into the episode description and click the link, which will take you right there. So, what are you waiting for?
Okay, so what else is going on?
What else is happening in the world of MMA, Lewis?
Well,
I did see some bit of drama unfolding yesterday from another podcaster with Dana White. Did you see that?
Yeah, what exactly happened here? It's with Brendan Schaub. He has his podcast, which is The Fighter and the Kid, and also now Below the Belt on Showtime Sports. And I guess he did a breakdown where he's talking about kickboxers making the transition into MMA. And go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, at the weekend, obviously the tough finale, we had Israel Adesanya taking on Brad Tavares. And Adesanya looked phenomenal. He looked absolutely ridiculous. He looked so good.
Adesanya follows my girlfriend on Instagram, and it bugs me.
Say again?
Adesanya follows my girlfriend on Instagram, and it bugs me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he likes her stuff, like
Why
her
does he
funny
bug you?
videos. He's commented a few times.
Why does he follow her?
I don't know. She's a professional comedian, and she's hot, so he's probably trying to get in those DMs.
He's definitely sliding into those DMs, Lewis. So
And
what do you do? Because you're now an MMA fighter yourself. You're a comedian, and you're probably around the same weight. I mean, what do you weigh right now? 220?
Yeah, about 220, 219.
Ooh, big boy. You've got another alpha male, Lewis,
Yeah.
moving in on your territory,
here's the
messaging
thing.
her, following her, commenting on her. You're just going to take that, Lewis?
I mean, look, he's a kickboxer. I take him down, choke him out. That's what I do,
It's that easy.
That
It's
easy.
that easy.
Shoot the inside fucking single. Boom.
Pass the side control.
Easy.
Couple little short elbows. Kimura. Boom.
You want to fucking
Easy.
slide into my
Done.
girlfriend's DMs, you
Problem
motherfucker?
is, though, in the street, there's no referee. So, when you let go of the Kimura, then he gets back up and kicks you in the head.
Look at his high cheekbones. Got those fucking abs. She likes black guys,
looks
too.
like
I
a
hate this
model,
guy.
man.
It's making me
Like
furious.
black guys. Oh, you're fucked. You're fucked. Say goodbye now. Say goodbye,
I'm not
Lewis,
fucked. She's fucked.
Listen, Kim, I had a good run. It was nice knowing you. But fair play, I'm handing the baton to Israel Adesanya.
Look at
When I
those
say
lips.
baton, I'm not talking about his giant cock.
Handing the baton. Oh, wait, that's not a baton at all.
Take his baton, Kim.
Ah, fuck me. Anyway, sorry. So,
Adesanya, kickboxer. And kickboxing is different to MMA. Obviously, you have the big gloves. We have small gloves in MMA. And that does mean a lot of the defensive maneuvers that you see in boxing, kickboxing, they'll just cover up the face. That doesn't work in MMA because shots can still get through.
yeah.
Brendan Schaub was talking about this yesterday, and I think that was kind of his point. And Adesanya took a clip of him. And by the way, in terms of Instagram followers, accounts to follow, Adesanya's is pretty good as well. No offense, Lewis, but if your girlfriend follows him back, she's probably.
I wonder if she does. Can you find out if Kim follows Adesanya back right now?
She's loving his page. Just ask her. Text Kim right now. Do you get a kick out of Israel Adesanya's Instagram page?
You can actually see if she follows him. There's a way to do it through your Instagram, Harrington. Yeah. So if she does, there's something going on here.
Ha! An affair of sorts.
She goes like this. By the way, she's such a fucking idiot. She's like, do you know like a UFC guy
Mutual
named?
respect, at least. There's a mutual respect.
Oh yeah, they appreciate each other's art, obviously.
Yes, yes. Okay, where were we? So Shaw was talking shit about kickboxers, basically saying he doesn't transcend. Adesanya posted the video of Sharp saying that, and I don't know how Adesanya does this, and a lot of people do this. They have these graphics now on their Instagram posts, and he had a graphic of someone yawning over and over again, and every post that he does has all these fucking images. How do you do that, Harrington?
It's not that
Is it
hard.
a Snapchat feature?
No.
Because I don't have Snapchat. Is that what it is?
Mike, we have a whole team here. You can just ask these guys to do shit like that for you, and they'll take care of it.
No, but this guy doesn't have a whole team. He has his phone, and he has like his posts with like people dancing or yawning or like celebrating or whatever they're doing. I don't know how he does it. How does he do that?
Kim
What does he
Congdon's
do
doing it for him.
the
Social media manager.
Anyway, how does he do that? And anyway, so that's what he did. And then Dana White came onto Israel Adesanya's page. Luz, you want to take over here and read the comment from Dana?
Yeah, pull up the comments from Dana Harrington right here. So Dana says, after Israel Adesanya wrote that, Dana White commented it in, such a fucking tool. What the fuck does this idiot know about the sport or the business? Stylebender, for you to be listening to this one, to one word from this moron in all caps, is a waste of time. Guy went 6-5 in the UFC. The only thing he could teach you is how to get KO'd. Tune idiots like this out. Dana White, not a fan of Brendan Schaub. Brendan Schaub responding.
Well, remember, Sharp and Dana have gone back and forth a couple of times. Remember?
Yeah,
Over
I know.
the years, I think. So
When he
there's a
left
little beef
initially.
there. So Sharp responded. Go.
Well, Schaub was one of the people that complained about fighter pay back in the day. There was a couple little things where, look, doggy, you know, if you want to fight for the biggest fight organization in the world, you have to kind of toe the company line. If you want to work at McDonald's, you got to kind of toe the company line, So the reality is, like, it went kind of south there, and then Brendan found a lot of success outside of the UFC umbrella. So I think he just kind of has like a fuck it attitude. And I remember something back in the day. I guess Dana White said him and Brendan had only met like 2 or 3 times ever. They weren't like, they don't really know each other like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Brendan was trying to make out like they had some big relationship in this and that. And Dana was like, we've spoken very cordially like once or twice. I don't know what he's talking about.
So Brendan now, but has made quite a career out of analyzing MMA and out of talking about it and on both television and podcasts. So
Brendan's doing phenomenally well. He really is.
So Brendan responds to Dana White, whoa, look who got a break from folding Rhonda's laundry to jump on Instagram. Bravo, sir. He's right, Stylebender. What do I know? Listen to the bald fat guy who's never been in a fight in his life. Do that, laughy face.
Ooh. Oh, stop it. Handbags at 5 o'clock. Did Dana come back again?
I don't think so. I don't think Dana did come back.
No, exactly. You don't want to do that. You don't want to go back and forth. All right. Well, that's Brendan will love this. This gives him a lot to talk about on his podcast. He gets him the center of attention. He gets him on headlines. And
but just like I said with DC before.
Dana did him a favor there. Dana did him a big favor.
Yes,
That's why when you see people talking shit on Instagram, like I get people talking shit in my comment section, and oh God, you really, really, really want to write things back. And the amount of times I've typed something out and I've gone, nah, delete. Just delete it. Don't respond. Ignore it. Block them. Because you're giving them what they want. Of course, the expression is don't feed the trolls. But they love it. If you respond, they're like, oh, yeah, look at this. They'll show their buddies, show their friends. Of course, they'll follow you back.
Oh, well, yeah. And now, Dan, Schaub has a ton of content now with that. And, he gets to have that debate. And I think, to be honest with you, it's a weird thing. I watched this happen with Dana White and Ariel Helwani. And whatever, I don't know the behind the scenes like but I watched, they have a thing where they, publicly, they have at it sometimes, right? And they, and Ariel asks the tough questions and Dana White kind of like dismisses him. And then I watched them at like 2 different press conferences within a week. And they did the same weird shtick back and forth. Like Ariel asked him a question and Dana kind of shot it down and it got a laugh. And it was almost performance. It was very strange. And I think a lot of this, in the world of entertainment that we live in, these guys, they go in, perform, and they go in, they have to create, moments and create drama. And it's just sort of keeping people talking about them nonstop. So I don't know exactly how much of this is real hate and how much of this is whatever. But Schaub, he definitely, because having that adversarial relationship with Dana White only does good things for him. I said the same thing about DC with John Jones before. You sort of need that, you need some sort of drama. In a movie, there needs to be some sort of fucking, drama or conflict, right? And if there's no conflict over and over again, people will get bored and they'll move on. So whether it's real or whether it's kind of made up, we keep on coming back to it. And whatever happens with Dana and Schaub and all these guys, they know how to kind of kick up dust and get people talking about them.
Yeah, but I don't think that's what Dana's looking for, to be honest. He's got bigger fish to fry. He's insanely wealthy and owns the biggest fight organization in the world.
I don't know.
No.
I think Dana White, he's a promoter.
Headlines. No, Dana's not. This is not a conscious decision from Dana to interact with someone and have beef and
it's not conscious decision.
Inject himself into the media. If he wanted to, he could do an interview. He could do TV shows. He could do acting. He's Dana White for crying out loud. And William Morris Endeavor own the UFC now. So he could get as much spotlight as he wants.
Well,
that was just Dana, because Dana is a live by the sword, die by the sword kind of guy, and he saw something and was like, yeah, fucking ignore this guy, Sharp. And that is what people like about Dana, the fact that he will do that. He will go online on social media and talk shit about people. He gets into arguments with people on Twitter, calls them all eggs and shit like that. That's fun because he's the head of such a big fight league, the biggest fight league. But yet he'll act like the average guy. He's not making himself this high-powered exec that is untouchable, that lives in an ivory tower. You know what I'm saying?
And it's part of his what? Brand. Exactly. I think you're agreeing with me. You're agreeing with me without agreeing with me. I think that it's not a conscious decision where he's going to go, I'm going to go talk shit to Brendan Schaub right now and people will talk about me. I think Dana White lives in a world where he constantly has people talking about him, and that's sort of conscious. He knows how to get people talking about him, the brand of the UFC. Dude, the branding behind the UFC and the way they've built that is what I'm most impressed with. The fact that the three letters UFC have become synonymous with MMA, it's the Coca-Cola of MMA. There's something incredible about that. Boxing was never able to kind of embrace that. There's no other combat sport that was able to generate a brand. Even even other major sports, it's a little bit different. Like the teams sort of have the brand love, but it's not like nobody gives a fuck about the NFL. Yeah, there's a brand there, but it's like nobody loves the NFL. They love their teams, And the UFC did something pretty unique there, and I think it's all Dana White, and I think it's a lot more conscious than, we think. Look at this. Everybody's talking about this, right? Dana White was on Conan. All right, it's a little while ago, but nobody fucking watched when he was on Conan. Nobody cared about that. But Dana White and Brendan Schaub go at it on Instagram over Israel Adesanya's post. Doggy, for the next week, it's going to be all over everybody.
Hold on. Who says who? It just happened last night on Instagram. Okay, you're making out like this is this gigantic news story. We're talking about because it just happened last night, and it's kind of interesting because Dana's the UFC president, and Schaub has a podcast, and he's a former UFC fighter. Maybe in our little world, our little bubble, it's kind of interesting for people listening. They find it interesting. I don't think this is going to transcend into mainstream media. I don't think we're going to see this fucking headlines everywhere. We don't see CNN running a fucking article on it. HBO aren't looking to do a documentary about it. Let's just keep it in perspective, Louis J. Gomez. It was an Instagram fucking comment where Dana did his thing, talked a bit of shit, and maybe rightly so. And Schaub responded, and rightly so as well. That's what people do on social media. It's a media that is social. You can socialize. You can make comments. Instead of talking, you comment. That's what it's for. That's what they did. Yes, it's interesting. Yeah, it's funny. If we're going to get a talk out of it, we're going to get a kick out of it. But then we'll move on and we'll forget all about it. And Dana has massive fight shows coming up. He's booking DC and Brock Lesnar. He's putting on Conor McGregor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. He's not looking at the master plan being, I'm going to inject beef with Brendan fucking Schaub to get notoriety.
Trump making peace with North Korea. These young Thai boys being rescued from a cave. And Brendan Schaub, Dana White beef on social media. 3 biggest stories of the year so far. I stand by it. The big 3.
By the way, I'm glad you mentioned the boys in the cave, because all the boys in the cave are now out, which is a big story for me. Yeah, exactly.
Good deal.
Round of applause. It's amazing. Humanity came together. They got them out. God rest the soul of the diver that died, trying to help them. Because we talked about this. We opened up the show on this last week, I believe. Was it last week? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
And I saw some people were kind of bitching, saying it was a depressing topic. And obviously at that point, I thought they were all going to be rescued because they'd been found alive. And I don't want to go on about this because people did find it depressing. But they're all out, and it took a long time. And it's just incredible. Elon Musk, the great, amazing, intelligent Elon Musk, was going to offer to send a team of his engineers to the Thai cave to try and get them out, because the problem was they were still trapped in there. They found them. They were in there. They were trapped in the cave. But floodwaters were forecasted, and they might have drowned. Anyway, it was a race against time. There's definitely going to be a movie made about that. But bravo to everybody involved in the rescue operation. Moving on, because we don't want to get on that. So they're the three biggest stories of the year. Okay. All right, Luke.
That's it. We have some questions in a minute, but I wanted to get your take on this, because it's pretty relevant. Apparently, they've booked Whittaker versus Gastelum for a title fight, and I guess the rumor is that they are both going to coach the Ultimate Fighter, I guess the rumored final season of the Ultimate Fighter. What do you think about this?
I believe it is the final season of the Ultimate Fighter. If what I'm led to believe is absolutely correct, then that is so. Great fight. Well done, Kelvin Gastelum, getting the title shot. Tough fight for both guys. There's a tough fight for both guys. You got to lean against Whittaker, but in favor of winning that fight, I mean. But Gastelum's a dark horse. Gastelum's a great fighter. He had a good performance against Jacare and myself and other people. So, yeah, it's a great fight. Both not the most... They're very nice guys, but they're not like controversial. They're not outspoken. You're laughing because you think I'm about to throw in a God bless him. God bless him. They are nice people, but God bless them. They're not the most entertaining people. They are entertaining, but they're not. They're quiet people.
They're entertaining fighters, but not entertaining personalities.
I'm trying to not use the word boring. I'm trying to do everything I can to not say boring.
Yeah.
Okay. The fights are amazing. But, watching them guys interact, it probably won't be the most exciting thing. Whittaker, great guy, amazing. But you know what? It's all about the fighters on the Ultimate Fighter. It's not so much about the coaches these days. And I'll be interested to see what kind of training methods Robert Whittaker brings to the table. Same with Gastelum. And let the fighters do it. So the real winner are the fans. Yeah?
Who the fuck is going to watch The Ultimate Fighter anymore? This is what I want to know. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing this to us? Nobody wants to watch The Ultimate Fighter.
It's the last season, Lewis.
They could have at least done it with... They could have just done it with some fucking fire. I don't know, man. It's just, let's let it die. Dana White Contender Series, way better show, cooler format. We don't need the format of, 12 strangers in a house... come together, and then we put them in weird... Come on. You don't need it anymore. This is not 2001. The Real World Rovers Challenge doesn't exist anymore. It's dead. Let it go away. And then to take two guys who, for all intents and purposes, are not super exciting speakers. Gastelum is a fucking quiet, polite, I would say borderline shy dude.
No, he's not shy. He was good when he came on UFC Tonight. And here's the problem, though, what I was saying. He's polite. He's respectful. He's a good dude. He's the type of guy, as is Robert Whittaker. Both of them I'm speaking about now. They're good guys. The people you want to bring home to meet your mother. They're really nice, respectful young men, which is awesome, and that's what you should be in life.
Yeah.
But I don't think you want them to be that on reality TV.
It's not a TV show.
But as I say, it's about the fighters. So, I can't dump all over the Ultimate Fighter. I have a special place in my heart with the Ultimate Fighter. Of course, I coached it twice. I was on season 3. I won it. And it is the last season. It's the last season. It's going to move on. So let's embrace it. Let's say hoorah for that. Let's see what Whittaker does. Let's see what Gastelum does. And then do what you want to do, Lewis. You want to talk shit, talk shit.
Talk shit, chat shit, get banged, mate.
Exactly.
I'm coming out August 30th to train.
August 30th?
Yeah, August 30th. Oh, I'm sorry, July 30th through August 4th.
To my house?
I can get a fucking Airbnb. You don't have to act like I'm fucking.
No. I mean, you're coming here to train.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I changed my whole plan.
Shit. You serious? You're coming on the 30th?
The 30th through the 4th.
Oh my god.
The tickets are bought.
Everyone on the UFC who listens to this podcast hates me because of this, because I let you down once already.
No, you're not. You're not letting me down again.
Well, no, I'm not. I've cleared my week, Lewis.
I know you have, baby.
I would never do that to you, buddy.
You're a good actor, Mike.
Yeah.
The first time I ever realized you were a good actor was April Fool's Day, like 3 years ago, when you and Boss Rutan played that prank.
Did you believe that?
I was doing a radio show with you and I believed it.
Aaron, see if you can pull that up for the viewers so they can watch it.
Yeah, pull up.
Yeah, no, Lewis, I wouldn't do that. Listen, I want. Believe it or not, I want to help you win this fight.
I know you do.
I want you to train this fight. I want to train you. I like hanging out with you. You're a great guy. I want to help. I'm a giving person, Lewis. If I can help you, I will. Come here. We'll do a few episodes of the podcast while we're at it. I'm going to come up to New York soon as well, and I'll help you. And as long as I'm free and I haven't got some lucrative thing, I will be there in your corner.
And I think Mickey Gall is a snake in the grass. I think he's fucking secretly helping this motherfucker out behind my back.
I saw that.
Mickey Gall.
You circled that he'd liked and commented on his post.
And then he called me up and he was like, dude, I saw this guy train at the yard. He's like, you don't got nothing to worry about, dude. I'm like, oh, that's weird. Why would you just say that? Then he's like, oh, dude, we should train together. I'd love to see what you're doing. And I'm going like, this motherfucker's trying to spy.
Maybe he's being a double agent. Maybe he's sending reports back to him, or maybe he's fishing for info for you.
Yeah.
Which is it?
I don't trust it now. Now all I know is that
I don't trust Mickey Gall.
I don't trust Mickey Gall.
Dead. Mickey Gall's out of the circle of trust. He's gone.
Well, he has to earn my trust back.
Is Mickey Gall back in the circle of trust, or is he gone?
He's on the cusp. He's on the border right now. Here's what I'll tell you. We give Mickey Gall no information.
I'm meeting Mickey Gall for lunch very soon. Do I meet him or not? Because if you say he's out of circle of trust, he's fucking gone. And that lunch is over. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I have my loyalties in place to Luis J. Gomez, the Puerto Rican rattlesnake. And whilst this was going to be a very fancy dinner with lots of business opportunities that were discussed and people and agents are going to be there, I will cancel that lunch, dinner, supper, whatever it was. The imaginary meeting that was taking place, I will cancel it right now. If you tell me he's out of the circle of trust.
He's on the border, do a cup of coffee. One cup of coffee, you look him in the eye, you don't take your eyes off his eyes.
Yes.
Simple as that.
Look at him, I query his motives, I ask him, and I leave, and I make him pay for the coffee.
Yes, exactly. It's an alpha move right there. Like, you're paying.
That's a fuck you without saying fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
Sorry, I've got a 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
But maybe not quite as camp.
We'll see what happens. I got to see what's going on, Mickey Gall. Maybe I'm being paranoid. I don't know. But he's got to earn his way back into the circle of trust.
I'm disappointed in Mickey, I've got to say. I thought he was built of better things, more substance to him. But, maybe he can redeem himself at some point. But as of right now, I'm sorry. I'm deleting his number as we speak.
I'm loyal like a dog.
I'm actually checking the text message, but whatever.
And by the way it's coming off, I'm down from 238 to 219.
Wow.
So 19 pounds, and I still have six weeks left to go. Now I'm just fucking getting in shape.
How much running have you been doing?
I've been doing a lot of running. I started running stairs in my neighborhood. There's like a Morningside Park.
Yeah,
There's a huge, really, really steep stairs. So I've been doing that and sprinting and doing a lot of sparring. It's been going really well, dude.
Yeah. What about wrestling and takedowns?
I feel that's the hardest part, dude. The hardest part actually is the sparring MMA and really mixing it up and not having your body sort of be ready and adapted for anything. Because it's like, it's like a fingerprint. I don't give a fuck what happens. There's no 2 sparring sessions or fights that are going to be alike. There's so many things that could go differently that you're so tense and there's so much output just being there waiting for something to happen that it's sort of like that part of it. It's like the physical exhaustion is crazy. That side of it's like another level. So getting myself, cardiovascularly ready to go 3 hard rounds, that's something that that takes just a lot of mental preparation, knowing that I'm going to go into a sparring session and, bring my body to the point where I can't stand up anymore.
What you got to do is you just got to drill this over and over again. Throw a combination, get him to react, and then shoot in. push him up against the fence or a padded wall in the gym, wrap your hands around his ass, pick him up and dump him. That is going to be your key to victory.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to be used. He's a taekwondo guy. He's not going to be used to that. You throw a shitty combination, just more of a distraction, to be honest. Drive into them. Push
You
them
know,
up
I
against
got
the fence,
fucking
pick them up and
hands
put
of
them down.
steel here. You know, you're like, oh, just throw a shitty combination, just a distraction. You know, maybe make a fucking animal balloon.
The point of what I was saying was that
Woo.
the hands are more of a distraction. If you land the shot, great, good for you. God bless. Listen, you know what I
He has
mean?
no faith in me. Look at this. Look, no faith in me.
I've got muchos faith in you.
I don't speak
You have
Spanish.
to win this, Lewis. We can't have, what's it called, Benicia O'Neill or something? Very easy.
Benicia O'Neill. Sounds like a guy you buy carpets from.
No, it sounds like a guy in the UFC. What's he called?
Oh, yeah, that's
Neil
Dariush.
Dariush.
Yeah, Benil Dariush. Danish and
no,
O'Neill. It's Ryan O'Neill is the guy's name. that I'm
Brian
fighting.
O'Neill, pardon me. You're fighting for the pride of this podcast, Lewis. So, you know, I will help you. And everyone listening, I'm not an asshole. And they're all like, oh, he doesn't care about Lewis. Oh, Michael's going to get bored of Lewis and move on.
It's true.
You know, I have thanked you multiple times for putting this podcast
Yeah.
together, and I got your back, buddy. It's just I'm super, super busy. In fact, I got a lot of shit this week because I'm involved with the company, and we got a big meeting coming up, and I'm like, I just can't be there. I just can't be there. I'm pulled in too many directions. So, yeah, there you go. So
Let's get a couple questions going. And
yeah, let's get some questions going.
Go ahead,
I think it's
Harrington,
about
what?
time, isn't it?
Real quick, that Circle of Trust conversation got me thinking. Kimberly Cognan is one of the 9 people I share followers with, Israel Adesanya. So, yes, she does follow us.
she follows Israel Adesanya
Yes, sir.
back. Oh, I bet she fucking does. Mm-hmm. I bet she fucking does.
Just want to get you fired up before questions.
You know, I don't know what to say to that, Lewis. I'm shocked. I'm flabbergasted. I'm speechless. I'm worried for you. I see the brave front you're putting on it, but the eyes are the window to the soul, my friend. I see that there's concern there.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the problem.
Let's
He can
get Kim
just
on the
take
phone
her.
right now. Let's get this bitch on let's get Kim on the phone right now.
No, she's doing a podcast right now. Otherwise, I would.
I'm joking.
The problem is he could just take her from me. Like, literally, physically, like, it doesn't matter, and I couldn't do anything. That's the part, that's the part of, you know, Big J has that great joke where he you know, when you were in the crowd, where it's like, you just can't do anything. You just have to, if he wanted to come over and smack her on the ass and be like, yeah, what are you going to do? I'm like,
I just want to say, for the context of the viewers, once again, it was hilarious.
Really
It's like, oh,
funny.
yeah. What was it? Say it, Lewis. Say it. You're the comedian.
I'm not sure. I don't even remember what the actual joke is.
It was like, oh my God, could you imagine him and his wife and a bunch of people at a dinner party, and they're talking about UFC. So, oh, could you imagine being with a UFC fighter that could just beat the shit out of you anytime?
Yeah.
I don't think I could deal with that. And he's like, what? You don't think I could beat the shit out of you anytime? Or it was something like that.
Yeah.
And obviously much funny way that he delivered it. But yeah, all right. Question 1. What
Questions.
we got?
Look, if you want to join the conversation, you can do that by shooting us an email, bym@gasdigitalnetwork.com. Also, we have a subreddit page, reddit.com/r/BelieveYouMe. You guys, they actually created a thread on that page where you can submit your questions through that. So I'm going to take one of the questions from there today as well, because I do want to get people engaged with our subreddit. Those guys
Sure.
are huge, huge fans. They're
But
the
also
most hard-
remember to please subscribe to the YouTube page and
Yes.
to the iTunes page and leave good reviews, all that stuff, because it does help. And we appreciate it. Thank you very much. We're growing steadily, slowly but surely. We're growing to a very, very nice point. We've got a good following now. We're doing well. We've got very good numbers that I'm proud of. And it's all down to you guys for listening to the bullshit that me and Lewis spout. So thank you very much. We appreciate it. And upon that note, question numero uno.
Okay,
Por favor.
so here we go. Let's do it. Question number 1. This is a good question. This is my 3rd time writing in. Fucking love the podcast and always love my dude Gomez. Fuck the people who say you are annoying on the pod or whatever. All right, dude, you don't got to fucking point it out, you cocksucker.
Yeah,
You could have
That's like
moved
my
on.
mother. My mother always gives like a backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
So, oh, Michael, he's got a good heart, but it's a bad wee bugger. You know, she'd never just give a compliment and leave it at that. It's always going to be, oh God, Michael will help you out with that.
Yeah.
But he's a wee shit.
Nick Farino, this is the guy. He's got a lot of words for a short question. All right, blah, 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 blah. So, Bisping, you had big success in the light heavyweight division for a while, and it's closer to your normal body weight. Do you feel the weight cut, getting down to middleweight, affected you compared to you when you were at light heavyweight? You were the middleweight champion, so I'm guessing not much, but you had to tweak your fight style when you moved down from light. Did you have to tweak your fight style when you moved down from light heavyweight to middleweight? By the way, the flying knee against Ross Pearson in the semifinals is one of my favorite fight endings from your career. It was spot on, like, holy shit, LOL. Love the podcast. Gas Digital for the win. Nick Farino.
Nick, thank you very much, buddy. The flying knee was against Ross Poynton, not Pearson. Yeah, I feel that making middleweight, pardon me, certainly affected me. I've spoke about this at times. And that last fight in China, I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, I was so skinny. I had no muscle tone whatsoever, hardly. It's kind of embarrassing. And I said then, because remember I hadn't retired, I said if I fight again, it's going to be back at 205. You know, because just that constant dieting, that constant running, the eating, the lack of carbohydrate, not recovering properly. Yeah, sure. And at the start of fight camps, I'd feel fantastic. I'd be strong. I'd be throwing people around. I'd be performing well. And then you get to you get close to the fight week, a week or two before the fight, and cardio in great shape, technique on point, timing on point, all that stuff. But power and things like that were just out the window. You know, I felt very, very weak. So, yeah, it certainly affected me. But thank you for the question, Nick. I've spoke about that at length, so I don't want to bang on about that too much. But that was why I wanted to go back to light heavyweight for my last fight or two, and, of course, that never ended up happening. But, yeah, cheers, Nick. Appreciate you listening every week. Luis, número dos, por favor.
All right, let's go to the subreddit page. Let's go. That's a good question. Mike, if you were forced to choose one highlight of your fighting career, what would it be?
Do we have something that's not specifically about me fighting?
Okay. Let's go with...
Sorry. No, but you know what I mean.
I understand. Yes, I do.
You know. Something a bit more interesting than me sitting and going, oh, remember when I did this combination? It was amazing, Lewis. You would have loved it. Right, Lewis? Come on. Let's all together give me a pat on the back and go, oh, dude, it was amazing.
I got a good one.
Well, I'm waiting.
Bisping and Gomez, which country do you most like to visit and why?
Say that one more time.
Which country do you most like to visit and why?
Ooh. Interesting. Lewis, take the reins.
Come on, baby. I've talked about it before. Talk about it again. Jamaica, man.
Jamaica, man.
Jamaica,
right about
man.
now, we got the Louis J. Gomez in the house, man.
I'm going to go back again this fall. I'm going to bring my chick back. I'm just going to go and rent a house. You could rent a villa for like $3,000. They give you an entire house, and they give you your own basic personal slaves. You have a chef, a guy that drives you around. They pick fucking sugarcane for you. I swear to God, it's crazy. I really mean that. It's
slaves.
Well, no, they're not. You pay them, so there's not real slaves.
That's the word of choice for the help.
They can do whatever.
You could have said servants. You could have said assistants.
I call Harrington my slave. I call Harrington my slave every time he comes in. That's fair. Make me coffee, slave boy.
Boy,
yes, I'm asshole.
That also has negative connotations.
Yeah.
Slave boy. Jesus Christ, Lewis, what are you trying to do to this podcast? All right, for me, it's pretty obvious because obviously I live in the States. I love it every time I go back to England. I'm not just saying that for the English followers. I really do. I feel at home. As soon as I land, we fly over that green grass of England, and I think I'm home. And I get off the plane, and I walk, and I'm just happy to be there. The sense of humor or everything, they just understand me. I understand them. It's great. That said, there's some fantastic countries in the world, and I love to travel. Outside of England, I don't know. I'm itching to go back to Rome. I went to Rome after the Anderson Silva fight. I had an amazing time. If you've never been to Rome, man, or Italy, I want to travel a bit more through Italy. But
I want to go to Italy, yeah. I really want to go. It looks beautiful.
It's fucking amazing, man. I don't know if you like history. I love history, and I love like old architecture. Obviously, Rome is full of that. So I had a great time there, just walking around, checking out the sites, doing all the touristy stuff, and the food is incredible. You know, Italian food is one of my favorites. So, and Thailand, I love Thailand. I mean, I could go on all day. I love to travel, but yeah, England, you can't get better than England, man. I love it. All the reasons I just said about Rome, they have that in England as well. Obviously, when things are on your doorstep, you take it for granted. You know, there's so many castles and historic things in England. that I never checked out when I was there because, as I say, you take it for granted it's on your doorstep. Now I want to go back. I want to do a tour of all the castles and medieval sites and things like that. So, yeah. One more
question. This is Connor from England. He says, do you think that there are some UFC fighters that would be better outside of the cage but don't do as good in the cage because of the rules? So basically meaning like a guy in a street fighter, they're guys that you think would probably be more successful outside of there because of the rules. I think like George St. Pierre, I feel like would be less successful out of the cage. I feel like he plays the rules and plays the sport of fighting very well, but he's not necessarily the guy that looks like he would be crazy in a street fighter he might not necessarily be the first guy you would choose to get your back if something went down at a bar.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I thought the question was going to be, who's that from, by the way?
This is Connor from England.
Connor, thanks, Connor. I appreciate the question. For me, I thought you were going to say the people that you think could do better. Jesus, how my dog is barking his head off. Alfie! God, this dog loves to bark, man. He loves to fucking bark. And it's so annoying. I thought you were going to say...
Your dog's being raped right now, Michael Bisping. Help him.
He's being raped so well. I don't know. That sounds like a pleasurable bark, actually. I think
he likes it.
He's like,
oh, more, please. Ooh.
Alfie, can you come in silence, please? Obviously, a lot of fighters, the skills don't transcend to the octagon a lot of the time because of the magnitude of the situation. You know, there's so much pressure on there, so many eyeballs, they're on TV all over the world, and the moment gets to them, and a lot of fighters don't perform to the best of their ability. But fighters that would be handy to have in a different set of rules if they were on the street or whatever. I mean, you got to think of someone like Derek Lewis straight right off the bat. If shit goes down in a dark alley, that's who I want with me. I mean, him and Ngannou stood and stared at each other for 15 minutes, but I guarantee if shit was hitting the fan, I'll take an Ngannou or a Lewis by my side any day of the week. You know, not just because they're gigantic men. You know, they seem like they could get down, but I don't know. That's a tough question. I mean, any of us really. Any of us in that situation, but people's skill sets favor outside of the octagon. I mean, it's interesting. If you look at someone like Shogun, prior to being in the UFC, where the rules were a little different, Shogun in Pride, when they allowed soccer kicks, knees to the head, and things like that, he was much more devastating out there. You know, he used the soccer kicks, the foot stomps, the jumping foot stomps, all that stuff. He used that to great effect. That was a big part of the shooter box arsenal. It really was for those people that used to watch Pride and know about it. There's one example. You could also argue that maybe he was going to test it for steroids and maybe that affected things. I don't know if it did or it didn't. I'm not saying that. I'm just playing devil's advocate and throwing that out there. But, yeah, there's guys like that. So, I don't know. It's kind of an open-ended question. Lewis, you have an answer to that?
I mean, obviously the bigger and blacker, that's what I say. You know, look, there's an intimidation factor. Look, this comes from a Puerto Rican man. People forget that I'm Puerto Rican sometimes because they listen to my voice and I sound like a fucking old white guy.
Gay.
You said gay.
I'm joking.
But I'm just saying, there's an intimidation factor there. You know, fucking Ngannou's a gigantic, terrifying man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The skill set, unless you're dealing with a high level grappler who really understands how to deal with that type of thing, there's just not many men in the world that are going to be able to handle it.
No. You know, it's funny you mentioned Ngannou. I think it was International Fight Week last year or 2 years ago. The Ultimate Fighter finale was on the night before the big fight. And I went to I got some tickets for me and Callum, and we went there. And the tickets are on the front row. And, you know, the front row tickets all have the people's names on. For who they fought, you know, their reserved seats, of course. And I walk up and someone was sat in one of mine. So there was only one of my seats left, but I didn't want to be a dick because there was seats to the other side open with people's names. And so I sat in my seat. I said, Callum, just sit there. I didn't want to move the other people. But it was Francis Ngannou's chair. Right, and Callum was like, oh, my God, Dad, I can't sit there. He's the most terrifying person in the UFC. I'm like, Callum, shut up. Don't quit being a pussy. You know, he won't mind. It's fine. You're just sitting in his chair. He's like, oh, okay. And he sits there, and then a minute later, he gets a tap on the shoulder, and he's like, hello. And he's like, yes, excuse me, you are in my seat. And Cal's like, yeah, no problem. No, he's like, Dad, I told you. Like literally a minute after he sat down in Ghana, he was like kicking him out of his seat. So yeah, he was a little intimidated. Yeah,
just a bit.
All right.
Look,
well, that's that. We said we're going to get some extra ones going, and we will do that. Thanks again for listening, everybody. We'll be back. Maybe Sunday, if Sunday works for you, Lewis. Monday could be a little tricky for me. Sunday doesn't work. Me neither. That's what I said. That's what I'm saying. Certainly not Monday. Monday evening, perhaps.
We'll make it work. We'll be back on. You guys will have your podcast next week. Don't worry. We fucking love you guys. I'm coming out there 2 times before my fight, so we're going to get a bunch of podcasts in person. You're coming out to New York, so thank you so much for listening. Go subscribe at gasdigitalnetwork.com if you want access to the entire library on demand, whenever you guys want them. Ad-free episodes. You get them an entire day early as well. Use the promo code BYM. Get yourself a free trial. And thank you so much for supporting the show. We love you guys, and we'll check you next week.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Ooh, more, please. Ooh.
Alfie, can you come in silence, please? Obviously, a lot of fighters, the skills don't transcend to the octagon a lot of the time because of the magnitude of the situation. You know, there's so much pressure on there. So many eyeballs are on TV all over the world. And the moment gets to them, and a lot of fighters don't perform to the best of their ability. But fighters that would be handy to have in a different set of rules if they were on the street or whatever. I mean, you got to think of someone like Derek Lewis straight right off the bat. If shit goes down in a dark alley, that's who I want with me. I mean, him and Ngannou stood and stared at each other for 15 minutes, but I guarantee if shit was hitting the fan, I'll take an Ngannou or a Lewis by my side any day of the week. You know, not just because they're gigantic men. You know, they seem like they could get down, but I don't know. That's a tough question. I mean, any of us really. Any of us in that situation, but people's skill sets favor outside of the octagon. I mean, it's interesting if you look at someone like Shogun prior to being in the UFC, where the rules were a little different. Shogun in Pride, when they allowed soccer kicks, knees to the head, and things like that, he was much more devastating out there. You know, he used the soccer kicks, the foot stomps, the jumping foot stomps, all that stuff. He used that to great effect. That was a big part of the shooter box arsenal. It really was for those people that used to watch Pride and know about it. There's one example. You could also argue that maybe he was going to test it for steroids and maybe that affected things. I don't know if it did or it didn't. I'm not saying that. I'm just playing devil's advocate and throwing that out there. But, yeah, there's guys like that. So, I don't know. It's kind of an open-ended question. Lewis, you have an answer to that?
I mean, obviously the bigger and blacker, that's what I say. You know, look, there's an intimidation factor. Look, this comes from Puerto Rican, man. People forget that I'm Puerto Rican sometimes because they listen to my voice and I sound like a fucking old white guy.
Gay.
You said gay.
I'm joking.
But I'm just saying, there's an intimidation factor there. You know, fucking Ngannou's a gigantic, terrifying man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The skill set, unless you're dealing with a high level grappler who really understands how to deal with that type of thing, there's just not many men in the world that are going to be able to handle it.
No. You know, it's funny you mentioned Ngannou. I think it was International Fight Week last year or 2 years ago. The Ultimate Fighter finale was on the night before the big fight. And I went to I got some tickets for me and Callum, and we went there. And the tickets are on the front row. And, you know, the front row tickets all have the people's names on for who they fought, you know, their reserved seats, of course. And I walk up and and someone was sat in one of mine. So there was only one of my seats left, but I didn't want to be a dick because there was seats to the other side open with people's names. And so I sat in my seat. I said, Callum, just sit there. I didn't want to move the other people. But it was Francis Ngannou's chair. Right? And Callum was like, oh, my God, Dad, I can't sit there. He's the most terrifying person in the UFC. I'm like, Callum, shut up. Don't quit being a pussy. You know, he won't mind. It's fine. You're just sitting in his chair. He's like, oh, okay. And he sits there, and then a minute later, he gets a tap on the shoulder, and he's like, hello. And he's like, yes, excuse me, you are in my seat. And Cal's like, yeah, no problem. No, he's like, Dad, I told you. Like literally a minute after he sat down in Ghana, he's like kicking him out of his seat. So yeah, he was a little intimidated. Yeah,
just a bit.
All right. Look, well, that's that. We said we're going to get some extra ones going, and we will do that. Thanks again for listening, everybody. We'll be back Maybe Sunday. If Sunday works for you, Lewis. Monday could be a little tricky for me. Just saying.
Skankfest all
Sunday doesn't
weekend,
work.
baby.
Me neither. That's what I said. That's what I'm saying. Certainly not Monday. Monday evening, perhaps.
We'll make it work. We'll be back on. You guys will have your podcast next week. Don't worry. We fucking love you guys. I'm coming out there 2 times before my fight, so we're going to get a bunch of podcasts in person. You're coming out to New York, so thank you so much for listening. Go subscribe at gasdigitalnetwork.com if you want access to the entire library on demand, whenever you guys want them. Ad-free episodes. You get them an entire day early as well. Use the promo code BYM. Get yourself a free trial. And thank you so much for supporting the show. We love you guys, and we'll check you next week.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Ad-free episodes. You get them an entire day early as well. Use the promo code BYM. Get yourself a free trial. And thank you so much for supporting the show. We love you guys, and we'll check you next week.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Guys, take care. Bye-bye.